Viewers, this is the tragic piece of information that we are tracking at the moment. Asha Bhosle, the voice that defined generations, is now no longer with us. She has now passed away at the age of 92. And we're talking about legendary singer Asha Bhosle, one of the most versatile and enduring voices in Indian music, has passed away at the age of 92 in Mumbai. And she had been admitted to Mumbai's Breach Candy Hospital on Saturday after experiencing medical complications, and despite medical care, the legendary singer could not recover. With her passing, an era of melody, experimentation and timeless artistry comes to a close. Born into the legendary Mangeshkar family, Asha Bhosle carved her own identity despite the towering presence of her sister, Lata Mangeshkar. And what set Asha Bhosle apart was not just her voice but her fearless ability to reinvent herself across various genres, from classical based compositions to cabaret numbers, from ghazals to pop. Asha Bhosle was a musical chameleon. Her early years were marked by struggle. She began singing in the shadows, often taking on songs that others declined, but it was her collaborations with music directors like O.P. Nayyar and late R.D. Burman that transformed her career. And with R.D. Burman, both professionally and personally, she delivered some of the most iconic songs in Indian cinema history. We also have our consulting editor, Sudha Sadanan, joining us on the phone line. Sudha, this is really tragic. Asha Bhosle, a voice that defined generations, is no longer with us. Your first reactions?
The reaction is that of shock. I think it really sounds cliche, but end of an era, she was truly a legend, and there is no gainsaying the fact that both the Mangeshkar brothers as well as the Mangeshkar family entirely have been in the service of music in this country. Asha Bhosle, of course, was somebody who started her career as a singer as a child. Her father used to run a theatre company, and both Lata and Asha used to work in that. Later, when they hit teenage, she decided to sing, and some of her earlier songs were, she sung for child artists. Then she sang a lot of songs, but it was only in 1957 in a film called Nayyar, which was made by B.R. Chopra, which starred Dilip Kumar and Baijanti Mala, and it's one of the most seminal films in post-Nehruvian era, that she really burst forth as somebody who could sing all kinds of songs. And, it was the music by O.P. Nayyar with whom she had a long association. Some of the songs that she sang in Nayyar was Ude Jab Jab Zulfen Teri, Mang Ke Saath Tumhara, Saathi Haath Badhana. Now, all the songs to be sung by one female singer was extremely unique. And from there, she went on to sing several songs. And it's a myth that she could only sing cabarets. That's completely wrong. 1963, in Bandini, she sang Ab Ke Baras, which is also a song which is sung till this date when you're thinking of your brother. She was very, very well trained in classical. She sang Love Me. She sang in several languages, ghazals. Then of course, cabarets. I mean, her association with R.D. Burman, whom she later married, is also something which everybody talks about. One of the earlier films, Deepak, was Teesri Manzil, directed by Vijay Anand, and in that she sang Aaja, Aaja, Main Hu Pyar Tera. Initially, she was very nervous. She said, will I be able to do this? I'm not a singer who's used to style of singing. R.D. Burman encouraged her, and she delivered, O Hasina Zulfon Wali, as well as Aaja Aaja Main Hu Pyar Tera. She was around 62 years old when she sang for Urmila Matondkar in Rangila, Tanha Tanha. And so this is a singer whose scale is unparalleled, unmatched. And, of course, it will take almost a couple of hours to count the number of national awards that she has got. She's, of course, she was a Padma Bhushan. She was also Dada Saheb Phalke. But, Umrao Janada was one movie which, of course, got her, the songs of which are still hummed by several people. Music was by Khayyam. He was apparently very nervous if she would be able to deliver, but she delivered. And like how, Dil Cheez Kya Hai, Aap Meri Jaan Lijiye. So Deepak, it's end of an era, and it's not somebody who sang or who was known for just one style. Her versatile style is something which is never ever going to come back, ever into the history of Indian film music, Deepak.
That's right, Sudha. And another question is, was her willingness to experiment the biggest reason that she outlasted generations of singers? She was relevant in every single generation, Sudha.
That is true. I mean, she sang starting from, she was the voice of Helen. She sang for Heroine, she sang for Sharmila Tagore, she sang for Rakhi. If you come down generations from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, and then, of course, for Urmila Matondkar, and also Kajol, Zara Sa Jhoom Lo Main, from Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. I mean, that's it. I mean, she never gave up. Once I remember I was watching her interview and she said, these days music directors are, they use autotune to tune voices and to see that we sing in tune. I find that preposterous, for God's sake. Whoever sings, on autotune. I don't need an autotune. I wake up in the morning and I can sing. And Deepak, look, I know that singers are supposed to sing, but Indian singers of that generation were quintessential people, rather than women, people. She cooked. She ran a restaurant in Dubai. She was a very, very marvelous cook. She took care of her house. Her husband left her when she was very, very young. She brought up her kids. She's had tragedies with her daughter, Asha Bhosle. But she kept the house going. And she was a great, great support for her older sister, the great Lata Mangeshkar. So I once remember her interview. She said, I went to work like a lot of women in Bombay went to Mumbai, went to work, in the sense that I cooked, I cleaned, I went, I sang, I came back home, took care of the kids, and I slept off. I mean, that was my life. So it is a complete artist whom we have lost today, Deepak.
It is indeed a big loss to the music industry. And how do you place her legacy alongside Lata Mangeshkar, Sudha, without reducing either of them?
I think neither should be reduced. I mean, both of them were fantastic, and they were. I mean, it always is that Lata got most of the important, songs initially. I mean, if you look at the 50s, starting 49 when she did Mahal, and 50s and 60s. But the point is that Asha was unparalleled, because you see, no one would go to Lata for a song which required a bit of, chutzpah. I mean, it was Asha Bhosle. Whether these were all club songs, Jawane Jane Man and Raat Baki, Baat Baki. These songs were Asha. Lata couldn't sing them. Lata said, don't come to me. There, go to my younger one, sister. I mean, she's much, much better placed to do this. So, I mean, her legacy is somebody who could straddle different kinds of genres. Like I said, classical, semi-classical, jazz, cabarets, and, ghazals. I mean, who can do that, Deepak?
That's right. And if you had to define Asha Bhosle's contribution in one line, what would it be, Sudha?
Magical.
And what kind of a loss are we looking at for the music industry? Because several newcomers had been looking up to such icons like Asha Bhosle. And do you think that, this is an end of an era? And would you think that her influence extended beyond cinema into pop culture and even identity as well?
Well, pop also she did with R.D. Burman. I mean, they did a lot of albums, individual albums together. So far as this generation is concerned, everybody grew up on her songs and her sister's songs. So it's a fantastic legacy that, she has left behind. But the point of the matter is that I'm sure, and I'm going to stick my neck out and say this, try as you may, she remains untouched, Deepak. It is very difficult. Her scale, her expertise, and the magic she creates, and in different languages. She sung in Bengali, a lot of songs. She sung in Kannada, she sung in Tamil, she sung in Telugu, she sung in Marathi, of course, which was her mother tongue. So, I mean, she remains unparalleled. I mean, we can look up to her like we look up to the Taj Mahal. That's about it, Deepak.
And Sudha, with her passing away, the space for such long-lasting careers have shrunk in today's fast-paced, digital-first and commercial music industry.
Absolutely. Music has gone through its own changes, and that was a different era. where the lyrics were very important. And, the music remained with us even after 50, 60 years. These days, I mean, it comes and goes, and, I'm not going to sit on judgment on that, but very few songs remain in your head, remain in your mind, remain in your soul. So, yeah, it's a different time totally. And, like I said, these are things, Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, Kishore Kumar, Mohammad Rafi, S.P. Balasubramaniam, these are icons, and they remain untouched, and no one can match them, ever.
And Sudha, on one hand, you had her voice, and on the other, it was her attitude that defined her persona. And do you think that, what really made her stand out, Sudha, in such a competitive era of playback singing?
Well, first thing was that she was many heads above everybody. Mm-hmm. So you knew that here is somebody. And then the songs that she sang, they appeared very simple, but they were very tough. And also she kept up with the times. I mean, Lata ji was somebody who was very self-effacing, quiet, reserved, introverted. Asha was Asha. I mean, Asha was somebody who could take the stage by fire, could stand there, dance. She's danced with Govinda. She's danced with several people. She would call out to the audience. She was one with the people. She traveled a lot. Even recently, she did concerts. So she moved with the times, and that is what was extremely unique, because unless you move with the times, you are redundant. And she was somebody who did that, and wonderfully well. I mean, go back and listen to Tanha Tanha or Sharara Sharara. These are songs which are not that old, but then look at it. I mean, look at the scale. Even in Satya, Sapno Mein Milti Hai. I mean, the way she sings for Shefali is you feel that, my God, I mean, who can do that? But she did that, and that was Asha Bhosle.
And do you think that, in today's day and age, that kind of longevity is possible? Because I don't think so, Sudha.
Well, you're a young man. You don't think so. So I doubly don't think so. That's because music was not played in clubs to be danced to, or the DJs did not exist. Music was more like a very individualistic, personal preference. I mean, people would listen to the transistor and the radio, and would tune into Radio Ceylon and Binaka Geet Mala only because they could listen to these great artists. So it was not like something that you danced to. Of course, you also danced to, but these days it's more like clubbing. Those days it wasn't so much of clubbing. It was, you just listened to that music because that was it was like your favorite book. It was like your favorite cricketer. It was like your favorite dancer. So it's like that, Deepak. So therefore, I think it lasted very long.
And as far as her legacy is concerned, Sudha, what will be her lasting legacy? And which songs or performances best capture her greatness?
I think if you take from, eras, then 1957 is Naya Daur. So, Ude Jab Jab Zulfe Teri. You come to, you come to the 60s. You also, you Aradhana. I mean, Lata sang most of the songs, but she sang Gunguna Rahe Hain Bhavre Khil Rahi Hai Kali Kali. Then you come to Mere Jeevan Saathi, which is 1972. Aao Na, Gale Lag Jao Na. You look at Karawan, which is Piya Tu, Ab To Aaja. You look at Umrao Janada, In Aankhon Ki Masti Ke, Mastane Ada. In 1972, she parts ways with O.P. Nayyar, with whom she had a long association. And that song, Chain Se Humko Kabhi Aapne Jeene Na Diya. These are the songs that she has left behind. And I think she's not gone. She's right here, considering we both are talking about her.
That's right. And, Sudha, she did change the way female voices were perceived in the film music. And what does her journey tell us about, survival and adaptability? Because it is very important to know that Asha Bhosle was one legendary singer who was risk-taking in shaping her career choices.
Well, the point is that they belong to a musical family. Her father, Pandit Dinanath Mangeshkar, was a singer who used to sing. So there was not, it naturally came to all the siblings, whether it was Lata, Asha, whether it was Meena, Usha, and of course Hridayanatha Mangeshkar, that you learn music. There was no going away. They did not know any better. Asha was born in Sangli, and later from Pune she moved to Kolhapur, and from there she moved to Mumbai. You see, and singing was the only thing that they got to know. She got married when she was 16 to Mr. Bhosle, who was much older. She apparently, allegedly had a very bad marriage, but she knew she had to bring up her 4 kids. The only way to bring up her kids was to do what she knew best, and that was singing. So she went from one studio to the other before both the sisters made it big. Today people can sit around and talk about and sit on judgment. But this singing, which came naturally and it was divine, was also mixed with what is called a lot of struggles. It wasn't easy. For an artist, it's never easy. But for these sisters, it was doubly tough because they were not rich. They did not have a godfather. They were from Maharashtra. Mumbai film industry was actually, dominated by people who spoke Urdu, by the Punjabis. So it was not easy at all. They had to learn and unlearn and learn and unlearn. So that is what the journey is all about. And this is, like I said, a quintessential Indian who will never say never. I will stand there and do what it takes.
And there are new age young artists also who are, looking up to her. What lessons can they, take from her legacy, Sudha?
I think they should just, kind of keep listening to her. I think that's the only kind of thing that you can, and try and strive. I mean, you can't match her, but at least try and be who she was. I mean, I don't think there are any lessons here to be learned, but it is just that, oh my God, I mean, it's like watching, a great symphony being played on air. So it's like that.
And Sudha, do you think that there was, if there was any point in her entire journey, in her entire career, if there was one point, which was the turning point of Asha Bhosle's career, what would that be in your experience?
I said that in the beginning. That was 1957, Nayyar, where she sang all the songs, and she was seen to be somebody who's extremely versatile. I mean, that is what was her turning point. It was not the cabaret songs at all. It was Nayyar, where, like I said, she sang all the songs, and that was very unique. I mean, only Lata got that chance to do it, but here was Asha who got to do, and it was a big banner film. It was B.R. Chopra, the older brother of Yash Chopra. Yash Chopra was, I think, an assistant in that film, and it had a very big star cast. And imagine to be singing all the songs. So I think that was her turning point, according to.
Right, Sudha, kindly stay on with me because we also have reactions coming in from the family of Asha Bhosle. Let's listen in.
मेरी माता जी श्रीमती आशा भोसले, इनका आज निधन हो चुका है। कल सुबह 11 बजे वो जहाँ रहती थी कासा ग्रैंड लोअर परेल, वहाँ पर जिनको अंतिम दर्शन लेने हैं वो आप वहाँ आइए, और 4 बजे कल दोपहर को शिवाजी पार्क में इनके अंतिम संस्कार होंगे।